Hello, welcome. Temperature records have been broken across Europe. Now, the highest temperature recorded today was in Paris, a staggering 42.6 degrees Celsius, breaking a 70-year-old record in the French capital. Not just there, though, because the Netherlands recorded its highest temperature at 40.7 degrees. And Belgium, the village of Kleine Breugel, temperatures hit there a whopping 40.6 degrees. So let's have a little look at some of those countries in a little bit more detail, because in Belgium they've been taking extreme measures to cope with the heat. This is a nursing home in Dilbeek where care staff, you can see, are cooling down the residents by spraying them with water. Belgium is one of 4 countries to have declared a severe heat alert, urging people to avoid prolonged exposure to direct sunlight. Gavin Lee reports from Kleine Breugel.
Well, this is the village of Kleine Breugel, one of the many villages in the past 24 hours that have broken the record, setting the highest temperature that Belgium has ever recorded. Now it currently stands at 40.7 degrees Celsius in the town in the west of the country called Beetham. It's beat them so far, but we're expecting that temperature to continue to rise as those temperature levels peak. This is really the epicenter around here. It's the northeast province of Belgium. The Netherlands as well, the south east province, we're seeing huge temperature rises, about 40 degrees as well. Germany too, 40.6. Paris reaching almost 42 degrees Celsius so far. Now this heat and this second heat wave, actually the reality with it is very unbearable to cope with. There was one family and an elderly gentleman with them who collapsed in front of our camera crew a short while ago and had to be helped by paramedics. They were dehydrated. The message from all 4 governments, the French, the Belgians, the Dutch and the Germans, is keep indoors, away from the sunlight. These are pretty uncomfortable times.
Absolutely right, isn't he? There have been fires in the west of France. The heat wave there has brought strong winds and a lot of drought. French reports suggest that 5 deaths may have resulted from the heat wave in that country. Lucy Williamson has the latest from Paris.
The city of light has become the city of heat. 42 degrees, just bearable if you're mostly underwater. The government has repeatedly warned people not to stay out in the sun, but with offices and schools closing early and most homes without air conditioning, not everyone's listening.
It's difficult to enjoy it. Here we are in this most amazing city in the world, and it's tough to want to go and do much.
It's very hot. The summer in Brazil is not like this. It's hot too, but here is too much.
This is a short, sharp spike in temperatures, but what a spike it is. The heat unremitting now for several days and nights, and in a city not built for this kind of weather. For many people, air-conditioned shops or public fountains are the only places they can find respite.
Just France, the UK recorded a record temperature for July of 38.1 degrees, and well, there was chaos in central London. This is Euston Station, right in the middle of the capital. Thousands of commuters had their journeys delayed. The trains were ordered to run more slowly in order to stop rail tracks buckling in the heat. Dan Johnson is in central London.
I'm afraid the disruption here is particularly intense this evening. There aren't many people enjoying their journey home. In fact, they can't make the journey home. You can see that crowd of people who are in the station there staring up at the departure board. I'm afraid most of the signs say that trains are cancelled, especially heading north out of here. It's because of those fires that have affected services on the routes heading north out of St Pancras and King's Cross as well. And that has led to severe disruption. Almost all the services on the Midland Main Line and the East Coast Main Line are expected to be cancelled for probably the rest of this evening, and there are serious disruptions and delays on the West Coast Main Line to Manchester as well. So passengers really are facing a difficult time after what had already been a difficult day. There were cancellations and restrictions put in place this morning because of the heat, posing a risk that the rail lines would buckle and that trains could derail. Now, that risk didn't seem to materialise through the day, but it had already disrupted services, and then with the further expansion of the metal involved in the overhead wires, that seems to have what's got tangled in the equipment on the top of the trains, brought the wires down, caused those fires and resulted in even more disruption this evening. So the only person who looks like he's remotely enjoying himself here is the ice cream man who's set up around the corner.
Well, there's always one person benefiting, isn't there? Now, just to put this into context, these scorching temperatures appear to have become the new normal. The 20 hottest years ever on record have taken place in the past 22 years. And scientists are clear that climate change is at least partially driving this. So let's get back to the heat wave that has been gripping Europe. The temperatures have been absolutely soaring. Records have been broken in the Netherlands, in Germany and in Belgium. You can see how thousands of people have been taking advantage. They've been flocking to Belgium's seaside towns to cool down. The record temperature was set further inland in the village of Kleine Brogel at 40.6 degrees. And let's have a look at what's been going on in Paris, because that's the way to do it. That's the only way to do it, really, isn't it? Paris saw a record high temperature of 42.6 degrees, breaking its 70-year record in the capital. French authorities launching a red alert, the highest state of alert in Paris, urging people to take care in the hot temperatures. And let's have a look at what's been going on in The Hague in the Netherlands, because again, very, very hot. The country recording its highest ever temperature at 40.7 degrees. And it was, of course, the same here in the UK. Crowds going to the beach, enjoying the sunshine. The UK having its hottest July day on record, with temperatures reaching 38.1 degrees in Cambridge.
Now, it has been a record-breaking heatwave, with new all-time temperature records set in Germany, in Belgium and also in the Netherlands. Whereas here in the UK, we've had a number of sites that have gone past the old July temperature record. Yes, we have seen the hottest July day ever here in the UK as well. That was set on Thursday.